What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Fall Damage Central podcast. It's Friday. It's actually Friday the 13th. Pretty spooky for October. I like it. It's October 13th, 2023. And as usual, I got my buddy Old School Legend over here. What's up, Old School?
Yo, yo, yo.
First off, I want to throw this right up front while everybody's fresh and in the pod listening. We're here on YouTube recording. We are also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So if you like the content, like and subscribe here on YouTube. Go over to those other platforms. Like, subscribe, rate, whatever it is that they ask you to do over there. We'd appreciate it. I usually put that at the end of the podcast, but I figure if not a lot of people are staying around that long, I know an hour's a long time to listen. Figure we throw it up front this week. See what how it works.
I like it.
What's been going on?
So we're missing Rhino this week.
Oh, I know. He had some family duties to attend to tonight.
Yeah, man. So apparently anybody listening, Rhino, he was on with us last week and the previous week. There's been a bunch of ladies sending him a lot of explicit DMs. And you gotta my guy's married, man. Ladies, you gotta chill with that shit, man. He's a married man.
I know,
it's supposed
man.
To be fun.
Like, geez, we're just here, be some bros talking about some video games and other goings on, and people are just trying to, sully the poor man.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, these ladies, man, you got to beat them off with a stick.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, same.
Oh boy. Dude, I gotta tell you, this past week I've been playing the hell out of some Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, man. I got my Series X finally after the whole debacle with FedEx. I don't know if we talked about it on here or not, but I was scrolling through the games that I had purchased on there previously, and I came across Red Dead Redemption 2, and we were just talking a couple weeks ago about how the first Red Dead is getting like 60 frames on PlayStation or whatever, so it kind of sparked my interest a little bit. And man, I jumped into it, and I bought it originally when it first came out, and I only put a few hours into it. I think I got a little bit past chapter 2. But I'm sitting here playing it all week this week. Every night after the kid goes to the bed, I come in here, play a couple hours, and I'm like, why the hell did I stop playing this? This is such a great freaking game, man.
Man, that's the best feeling when I guess you would say you rediscover something and then you really get into it, and it's just like, man, you really have that enjoyment for it. So I'm glad to hear that.
Hey, have you played through that yet?
No. I bought that several years back during Black Friday, and I had every intention on playing it. And I got to be honest, man, like I started it, and probably within the first like 10 minutes of it, I fell asleep. and granted, I was probably playing it at like an inopportune time. Probably one of those things where I was just like super tired from the week or something, decided to force play something, and it just didn't catch my interest. So I always told myself I was going to go back to it. But then I knew like once the PS5 was coming out, some of the games run a little bit better on the PS5. So I figured there'd be some type of performance patch or something, and then I'll play it then. But even now, I just haven't gotten around to it. So eventually.
It's a good looking game, and I think what stopped me from playing it before was the loading screens. I can't remember exactly how many there were in there, but like for fast traveling and everything, it just took way too long. So I think that's what kind of held me out of it. But now with the SSDs and the new consoles, oh boy, I'm all over it.
It's with that quickness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm still working on Cyberpunk, man. I'm making my way through Phantom Liberty at this point.
Oh, you started that? How is that?
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm enjoying it. I really am. So I'm probably got another 20, 30 hours to go left on it. But
God.
I I've been doing like tons of side missions, just the gigs, all like the random stuff that you could do in Night City. And I've been
Now,
having a lot of fun with that.
are all those side mission stuff new with Phantom Liberty? Or are they just
They
things in the main game you haven't got to yet?
so those were like the ones that I've done are all ones that are in the main game that I just never got around to. Because when I first beat it on the PS4 Pro, I strictly did just main story missions. I didn't touch any side quests or anything.
Hmm.
Um, but now that I have a little bit more of a stable game on the PS5 version, I figured, all right, let me go back and try to play some of these. So the side missions in the main game are really good. There are a bunch of side missions that pop up in Phantom Liberty. Um, so I'm probably going to start tackling those as well.
Nice. It, I'm sure you came across Idris Alba already, huh?
Not yet. Not
Really?
yet.
How many
So
hours do
I
you think you
like
put in there?
probably about 3 into
Damn.
Phantom
Okay.
Liberty. Probably
Yep.
about 3. So I think I'm on my way to meet him or to find him.
Hmm.
So I kind of took a detour from like the main mission and I started picking up like random cars and dropping off and doing the NCPD um, search and kill missions or whatever.
Hmm.
So there's like as you travel through Night City, somebody will pop up on the CB radio saying that there's like a disturbance nearby. You go and find it, and normally it's like a gang of people that are just you know messing with the civilian or anything.
Yeah.
And you go in there, you kill them, you get the loot, you do whatever, you save the person, and then that mission's done. But those pop up all over the place, man. So I mean, it's just like I keep doing them like back to back to back to back to back. I don't mind though because they're pretty fun.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not even close to even beating the main game yet, so I'm not even thinking about Phantom Liberty.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go for the platinum on this, man, but I was actually looking at the trophy list, and it's a lot. I mean, it is a lot, and I've dedicated quite some time to it now. And I don't think I want to dedicate any more time than I need to.
Hmm.
So I think probably maybe by this weekend I think I'm gonna start wrapping up with the side quests and just go ahead and start doing the main quest of Phantom Liberty and then finish up the main story and then move on to something else, man. Because we got Mario Wonder coming out,
Mm.
Spider Man. Like it's about to start a boom.
8 days.
And 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 GameStop just had this ridiculous sale,
Oh yeah.
and I got about 20 titles coming in the mail. So
I got
oh
17.
oh man.
And I would have never known about it if you didn't tip me off to it. Um, but yeah, I jumped on there as soon as you told me about it the other night. I wasn't even a pro member before, but I signed up for the pro membership for the year. It's only like 25
Paid
bucks.
paid for itself.
Oh yeah, it took a stack of games that would have been originally been like 320 bucks or something like that down to 100 bucks. And brand new games, still in plastic, hopefully still in plastic, but brand new games. You never know when you're dealing with GameStop.
Yeah. No,
Um,
this sale has been ridiculous, man. So you're talking about $5 titles, $8 titles, and good games too, man. So I know one of them. One of the titles I picked up was the Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise,
mhm.
and I think that was like $4.50.
Yeah, I
Picked
saw
that up.
that, and I tried to add it to my cart, but it said no longer available by the time I got to
Oh man,
it.
there was a Octopath Traveler 2. That's another one. I've actually never played the Octopath Traveler series, but I hear they're pretty good. But I think that game was like $8, brand
Mm,
new. All right, cool. Um, Valkyrie Elysium. That's another one that I haven't played on the PS5. That was like $8, $5. Ridiculous, ridiculous prices. But
nice.
I got quite a few on the way.
And how many? And some of them are for PS5, right?
Yeah, so I got a mix of Xbox like One/X games,
Yeah.
PS4 games, and PS5 games.
So how many of those do you think are like you could be disconnected from the internet, throw them in your console, and play the full game, no problem?
I don't know. I'd have to go through the list. Honestly, like I can't even remember like since I bought so many, I can't even remember like what all I got.
Yeah.
But maybe once I get all my stuff, I'll do an unboxing video, finally get an upload on my channel,
Yeah,
and then
buddy.
we could talk about what games we think that are going to get shut down or be affected by servers or anything.
Hell yeah. I'm down to see that.
Speaking of speaking of servers, man, you saw that nonsense with WWE 2K22?
I did. I
Like
did.
that game's been out for like what, 2 years maybe? Maybe a
Is
little
it
less than two
was it
years.
22 or 21?
No, it's 22,
Okay.
2K22.
Yeah, that's even
So
worse
it
then.
yeah, so they skipped 21 because WWE 2K20 was the one that came out that was all jacked up to holy hell.
Uh-huh.
So
That's right.
I actually ended up picking that up uh maybe about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point. But I got it in a clearance bin for like $6, and I was like, oh man, how bad could it be? Man, like that game looks like shit, dude. Like the character models and everything. I was just like, what? Like Adam Cole's in the game, and like he looks nothing like he does like in real life or in any other video game iteration of Adam Cole. So yeah, I immediately just put that on the shelf. And then 2K22 came out because they spent the year fixing the glitches, doing all the other stuff. And I actually ended up getting 2K22, and that was actually pretty good. I
Mhm.
didn't mind that one. Um, but they're shutting down the servers, and that game really hasn't been out that long. So, considering that a game like I don't know, SmackDown versus Raw, like 2016, or I'm sorry, 2016, 2006, 2007, those games were out on the PS2, 360, that like that kind of era,
Yeah.
and the servers for those games were up for years. I mean, well after the game's lifespan.
Yeah.
But we're getting into an age now where these companies like they want you to upgrade,
Mm.
like they want to force you to upgrade to the next thing. And on the Twitter post they talk about shutting down the servers for 2K22, and they say pretty much like, all right, well, go buy 2K23 if you want to keep playing online or something like that.
What about all the money you dropped into 2K22, like extra characters and all that other stuff? You just
Yeah,
gonna tell me all that doesn't matter anymore?
yeah, because they with the 2K22, man, I think they had like a $120 version, and that was like the NWO Legacy Deluxe or whatever the hell, and it
Yep.
came with the NWO members, like all this other stuff. It came with a lot of stuff. And granted, you could still use it offline, but to me, like the fun is going online and playing with, Kevin Nash, the NWO Kevin Nash, the NWO Scott Hall, or something like that.
Yeah. Dude, if any of those fighting games, whether it be Street Fighter, UFC, WWE, doesn't matter. If I go online with any of those, I'll just get my ass kicked every single time. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, yeah. The people that play online are just like ridiculous. But there are people that do like playing that online, and now that's unfortunately it's getting taken away from them. But I would imagine the people who are hardcore WWE fans that are into the games probably already have 2K23 and are
Hmm.
playing 2K23.
Oh
So
yeah,
maybe it's not really that big of a deal. It just seems like it is.
that's what I'm curious about. How many people are actually online still playing it? I wonder if we can Google that. Let's see. Current active players, WWE 2K22. Oh, as of 58 minutes ago, I don't know how accurate this is, but 58 minutes ago on Steam, there was 137 active players, or is that it says 137 period. I don't know if that's like 137,000. 24-hour peak was 161. Yeah, I think there's only 161 people online right now, and this is Steam, not consoles.
Yeah.
Damn. Maybe there's. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I wonder if I can't see a lot of people playing WWE 2K22 on a PC. I feel like that's like a console game.
Yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
I think your PC games are your Baldur's Gate, your Call of Duties and stuff. Um, not definitely not WWE 2K.
Oh yeah. Um. But that the whole thing with 2K22 kind of goes hand in hand with what we've been preaching since day one of the podcast. What we've been talking about and fearing is this that all digital future that we always talk about. It's like this is just one example of companies trying to push you to spend more money. Um, and as things just go all digital and these streaming services and all that just take off and physical goes out the window and all that, it's just more and more like you don't own anything. You're at the you're being bent to the will of these large corporations, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like that story I sent you earlier today. I don't know how true that is. There's a story from Game Bits, and pretty much it's talking about how Best Buy is going to stop carrying physical media as early as Q1 2024. Now, I think the in the article, I think it talks mostly about movies. So I think they're going to start not carrying physical movies anymore. So no more Blu-rays, no more HD Blu-rays, none of that stuff. And then eventually it's going to migrate into the games. Because I don't know if anybody's been into a Best Buy lately, but if you go
Hmm.
in there, you like it's like a ghost town, man. Like
Yeah,
no games, like it's all appliances now and everything. Lots of cell phones, computer
dude,
shit.
it sucks so much, man. It's like yeah, like you said, a ghost town.
Yeah. Best Buy used to be my joint, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was I used to love going to Best Buy, man, on Black Friday
Yeah. Oh yeah.
when I was younger. Dude, you get there at like 2 a.m., just waiting in line and get you one of them $400 TVs and them $5, $6, $7 PS3 360 games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I used to when I'm bored, just hanging out at the house or something, and I'm hanging out with a buddy. I'll be like, "Hey, let's go walk around Best Buy," and we'll just go walk around there for a couple hours, just look at all the different
Yeah.
games, movies, CDs. Back in when CDs was a thing,
Yeah,
man,
man.
that was a good little rainy day afternoon there, just going and browsing.
Yeah. Even like the same thing with malls, man. Like malls are dying now too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've been in any malls lately, but man, there's so many empty stores. It's sad, man, because I remember back in the day, man, you went to the mall and it was always bumping, man.
It was a place to
You were a
be.
teenager. You were a teenager, you went to the mall, picking up chicks, sneaking into the movies, all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah, that was a good little date night for a little 14, 15-year-old Bildo.
Hell yeah. And they had the Tilt arcade. Oh, man.
Tilt Arcade. That doesn't ring a bell. Is that just like arcade
Yeah,
inside the mall?
yeah, it's the arcade inside the mall. It was just called Tilt.
Okay, dude, I can't even
So
remember.
we actually there's a mall here in Philadelphia that's still bumping. It's 4 stories and they got open stores on every single level.
Damn.
And it's bumping. So I think it's probably like one of the last malls that has like a bunch of like anchor stores and it's just super busy. But it's really
Damn.
nice too, man. So
I
we
ain't
went there a
never.
couple times and walked around.
I ain't never been in a 4-story mall before.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think the fourth story, I think it's like a movie theater. There could
Okay.
be a couple of stores up there, I don't know, but yeah, it's freaking huge.
I know you and the wife are big movie goers. Have you been to the movies yet up there?
Not yet.
Okay.
We have not.
I was wondering if there was a nice theater up there like there was down here. We went to a few times that serves you dinner and everything.
Yeah, man. I think it's just like regular movie theaters. So there's actually a movie theater we could walk to. Um, it's maybe like a 10-minute walk from us. And I think it's like United Cinema or something like that. It's one that I've never heard of. Um, so I'm assuming that one is just like a popcorn and candy type
Hmm.
deal. And the one that's in the mall is an AMC. I do know that some of the AMCs serve meals and stuff. I just don't think they're gonna quite be like that theater over there in NC.
Yeah.
That that was just freaking amazing.
Yeah.
What the hell's the name of that place? Anyway,
I'm
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 drawing
sitting
a
here trying to
blank,
think
man.
of it too. It's
The Alamo, the Alamo.
Alamo. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Alamo.
I'm like, man, what the hell's the name of that theater? And I'm like,
Yeah. It's great. They get, like for every big blockbuster movie that comes out, they have like certain menu items that go with the movie. Like when Ant-Man came out, they gave you a little menu with a tiny little magnifying glass to look at it. That's pretty cool.
yeah, man, that was like one of my favorite spots because like the food there is freaking delicious too, man. Really,
Yeah.
that fried
Oh,
chicken sandwich.
oh
Oh
yeah.
man,
You gotta
and like
wonder.
even like
Like,
the pizzas and the burgers they had. Mm.
yeah. Oh, everything's top notch. I love that place. And the milkshakes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I used to get that cookie milkshake, man,
Uh huh.
and dude, like you would be sitting like 4 seats down from me and you would get that cookie milkshake and I could just smell it. And I was just like, oh my God, man, it smells like fresh baked cookies and ice cream and just, man.
Dude, it's awesome. If anybody out there is listening and has the opportunity to go to an Alamo, um, I think it's a draft house, right? Alamo Draft House.
Yeah, Alamo Draft House. Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend you go at least one time, and once you go that one time, you're gonna want to go back again and again.
Yeah. And it's so understand this. Full transparency. It's not cheap. It's not one
Yeah.
of those theaters where it's going to be like $10 to get in and like getting a popcorn for $3. No. You're going to be dropping some cash. But the cash you're going to be dropping is going to be well spent because the
Yep.
food is amazing. Even if you just get popcorn, they use clarified butter. They use real clarified butter, not like that oil shit
Whew.
that you get at like the AMC's that you just put your bag of popcorn underneath and
Just let it
bleh,
rain on top of.
bleh. Oh man, I get nauseous thinking about that.
Dude, that's so great, man. You got to wonder, like, is there ever going to be a time in our lives where movie theaters just don't exist anymore? Everybody just pays for it and watches it at home?
I kind of feel like eventually it is, man, because I feel like movies are like in theaters for like 2 weeks now, and
Yeah.
then third week Paramount, HBO, whoever the hell they pick up the streaming rights to it, and then you could watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I case in point, man, I wanted to see the Nun 2. So the Nun 2 came out, I think, right as we moved up here, and I was like, man, we need to try to get to a theater because I really want to see this in theater, whatever, whatever. And I mean, like it's just been chaos since we've been here, but
Hmm.
we're kind of settling down now and everything. So now we have a little bit more free time to go out and explore and do shit. Um, but now the Nun 2 is streaming on I don't know, like Hulu or something,
Hmm.
and I'm like, oh, okay, well, damn, there's that. There's a new Exorcist movie out in theater. I really want to see that. Um, but again, that's probably going to be streaming here in a couple of weeks. So probably just going to wait.
Dude, I kind of wish you still lived down here for all that because this is the first year that I could remember that I'm like so into this Halloween spooky season time of year that last weekend I sat with the wife on the couch and actually watched like eagerly a horror movie. We watched I think it was the third Conjuring movie, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah.
We watched that and um like I was like, dude, it's Halloween. Let's just watch a freaking horror movie. And if you know me, I'm not really about the horror movie life, but this year, man, I probably would have went to see that Exorcist movie with you. I don't know.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, pretty much all I watch is horror movies. Like I don't really fuck with comedies, rom-coms, like none of the Disney shit.
Uh
Like
huh.
straight up just like horror movies. But we actually I used to I used to try to do 31 horror movies in 31 days in October.
Yep.
But as I'm getting older and like my priorities are changing, it's just it's damn near impossible to it's like I maybe get like 5 movies in a month. I could probably make a list of like 5 movies I'll be able to watch.
Yeah.
But me and the wife actually we sat down and we watched, was it last weekend or the weekend before? On Peacock they have that Winnie the Pooh movie. It's like Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey
Uh huh.
or something like that. Man, that movie was like straight trash.
Was it?
It was so it was so bad, but I loved it, man, because like I love the horror movies like
Yeah.
that are just like really like bad and like cheesy and shit.
Uh huh.
Like to me, those are the best ones.
Dude, you are gonna have the opportunity of a lifetime to flex your knowledge muscle on some horror movies and stuff in a couple weeks for our Halloween episode. I got some
Yeah.
I got some stuff planned, man. I think you are going to knock it out of the park.
All right.
And
I'm looking forward to it.
just a little sneak peek for everybody. Uh I'm gonna pit you and Rhino against each other. You guys are gonna be battling for your souls.
Oh,
So whoever loses is going to spend the next 365 days till next year. Your soul is just going to be in hell. It's going to be tortured for 365 days. And then next year, when we do our 2024 Halloween episode, we'll try to get you out. I mean, there's no promises, but we'll have a little competition, see if we can get you out and see where it goes.
I like it.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
And I got news for you. I don't know Rhino's background with horror movies and stuff and like kind of knowledge on pop culture. So I think you may have the upper hand.
Oh man. See, that might not even be fair. So
I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm gonna tell him to study up in the next 2 weeks or so. Um, man, did you? So I know you saw it, but that PS5 refresh, or I don't know if it's a refresh, but like a new model of PS5 coming out in November.
yeah. Yeah. That's
So
the slim version.
yeah, so the big thing, well, it's not even that big, but it's gonna have a 1 terabyte storage drive on it. It'll have a removable disk drive, um, reduced size by 30%. Um, and unlike its predecessor, the first PS5, a horizontal stand will come with it, but a vertical stand will be sold separately. So,
Yeah,
uh,
that's they're like nickel and diming you on every damn thing now.
yeah,
So if you look at the photos, like having it horizontally, it looks like there's like a little sorry ass like piece of plastic kickstand that's like holding it up. And I'm just like, what? I don't know. It looks kind of chintzy to me. And that's just my opinion.
hmm
I I think that with with newer technology, when things get upgraded or changed, I think they should look a little more sleek.
hmm
And to me, I think the new one that's coming out, I think that shit's ugly as hell, man. I think like the original, as big as it is, I think that looks a lot better than what the Slim does. And I can't stand the fact that if you want to have your system in the vertical orientation, you have to buy that stand. Like the first one came with it, and
yeah,
you know, it was a dual purpose stand. You could use it horizontally, you could use it vertically. Why can't you do that now?
Well, so they're selling a vertical stand separately for $30. Do you think the uh, price of the console will drop by $30?
No, no, it's going to be
Hell no.
nope, it's still $4.99. And I
Yep.
think even the digital model, they actually increased the price on the digital model, but now they have an external drive you could buy, which I I don't know, man. I If you're gonna buy a console and like you have disc based games, why wouldn't you just buy the disc based console? Because if you end up buying the digital console and then you buy the disc drive attachment, you're paying like an additional like $30 than you would if you just got the standard one with the disc drive already in it.
Did they announce how much the disc drive is going to cost? The detachable one?
Yeah, I think it's like $80.
Wow. Okay, I thought it'd be at least 100.
Yeah, let me hang on 1 second.
Yeah. So disc version 499, digital going up to 449. Just absolutely ridiculous. I guess they can make an argument. Oh, it's got bigger storage in it. Well, then why didn't the disc model increase $50 then? If that's
Yeah,
the reason.
yeah. So the external drive is going to be $79.99.
Mm, okay.
So it's crazy to me because I still feel like there's people out there who haven't been able to find a PlayStation 5. I think that's still, I don't think it's like a lingering issue, but I still think it's a thing where you can't go into a store, into like a Best Buy or Walmart or something, and buy a PS5. So one of my other buddies, Alex, he got himself an Xbox because he went to, I think it was like Target, and they had Xbox Series X's there, and he was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, I've been waiting for the next gen consoles. Well, I haven't been able to get a PlayStation." Walked right into Target, got himself a Series X, and he's happy with that. He still wants a PlayStation 5. So I think probably like Black Friday, the holidays, he's probably going to be able to do that, and he's obviously he's going to end up getting the slim version.
Yeah. So what I notice that every time I go into a store like Target, Walmart, Best Buy, whatever, I always swing through the video game section just to see what they got, and then I'll take a look to see what consoles are in stock. And like for the past 6 months to a year, every time I go into one of those stores, they have they had a shit ton of Series S's, but more recently they always have two or three Series X's in stock. Why What's up with Sony? Why can't they keep the PS5s in stock? Are they just more in demand, or are they just not producing as many?
I think they're more in demand. That's my thing. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe they're just not shipping to stores
Hmm.
because, like, I know theft rates in retail stores is so high right now.
Yeah,
Like like Target, they're pulling stores out of New York, Portland, and a couple of other cities because they're losing so much money on theft. So maybe that
wow,
could be it.
that's nuts, man. Um,
Yeah, isn't that wild, man? So up here in Philadelphia, man, like our Targets, everything is like locked behind like like a glass thing. You have to get an employee to come and open like whatever. So I needed shaving cream and razors. So I had to find an employee to fucking unlock the gimmick to get me
wow,
razors and shaving cream, and even the same thing for like laundry detergent.
wow, man. Is
Uh,
there anything that's not locked up?
like the food. So like none of the groceries are locked up, which because you know I guess it's okay to take a loss on food. Um, but I would think if somebody's stealing food, it's probably because they really need it versus like, hey, let me steal fucking laundry detergent and shaving cream and try to sell it,
Yeah.
you know, on Craigslist or whatever the hell.
Wow, man.
Oh, and medicines are locked up. So any kind of You can't walk on. You just can't walk up and be like, oh, okay, let me just get some cough medicine. Nope,
Yeah,
got to get somebody to do that. So I think a lot of the
that's
bigger cities are going to be like that.
that's nuts. Um, one positive thing that I'll say about that uh PlayStation announcement about the Slim models coming out, I guess you could say, is they announced it this week and it'll be out in a month. So it's not
Yep.
like, oh, we're gonna announce this and it'll be a year and a half before you see it.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo does occasionally. Xbox is done notoriously. I hate when that happens. So kudos to PlayStation for doing that.
Yeah. So I typically buy the slim model of the consoles when they come out. I've always done that just because I'm like, oh, it's a slim model, probably, a little more economically friendly on the electric bill, that kind of stuff. But this time around, nah, man, I'm gonna stick with my
Hmm.
OG big boy PS5.
Yeah, because there's no like graphical improvements or anything to it, right? It's the same old console, just a little smaller, bigger storage drive, and removable disk drive.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no point in me upgrading. I somebody said I was watching some videos on this the past couple of days, and somebody said PS5 Pro will probably be out either next year or the year after.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna release a pro model because so technically the PS5 could do 8K gaming,
Hmm.
but like 8K gaming is still like in its infancy. So I honestly just don't know what they would do with the PS4 oh I'm sorry, PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Unless it's just a cash grab.
Oh, these big corporations ain't against no cash grabs.
Yeah. Um or like it has even an even faster SSD. So now you
Yeah.
can load in like zero point 0.3 seconds instead of like 1 second. I,
Man, and all these like there's diehard fans of these consoles out there. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, all of them, it doesn't matter. They'll go out and buy every single version of the console just to have it, just to collect it.
yeah.
So,
Yep. Unfortunately, that was me at one point. I was that guy. Like anytime the new Slim came out, but what I would end up doing is I would actually trade in my previous console
mhm,
towards the new Slim model, and then like end up paying I don't know like 150 bucks, 200 bucks for it,
mhm,
and then at a later date look for one on like Craigslist or Facebook, whatever, because people will start trying to sell off their original consoles. So you
yep,
could always end up getting a new original console for like pretty cheap.
that's
So that's what I
understandable.
used to do. But yeah, so with the PS4, um, my wife actually surprised me because she knows I'm a big God of War fan. So they announced the God of War PS4 Pro bundle.
Yep,
So it's like the God of War PS4 system, PS4 Pro system with the game and everything. So she went and bought that bitch for me for my birthday and surprised the hell out of me with it. And I was just like, I was in shock. I was like, holy shit.
so you had
Um,
no clue.
no, no. So like I always thought like the concept of the PS4 Pro would be cool, but I was like, yeah, like not something I really need. She got that bad boy for me, and I'm so glad because the upgrade from the vanilla PS4 to the PS4 Pro is just man, like it was a big difference.
Yeah,
Um, and then I had gotten an Xbox One S. So I was using that. That was like my Xbox for a while. And then I was like, man, you know what? I think I'm just gonna get the Series X. And then I got the Series X and I was kind of disappointed because the Series X wasn't really that much better than the Series S. I'm sorry, the One X and the One S. I'm stuck on the Series consoles now because that's what I have.
yeah,
Um, so the Xbox One S, I had that one, and then I got the Xbox One X.
yeah,
Um, And the upgrade from the Xbox One S to the Xbox One X to me wasn't that big of a deal. Um, it was pretty much like the same, and I was like, oh, well, shit, this was stupid. But
Dude, I was just thinking, what's the next Xbox console going to be named that comes out? Is it going to be like the Xbox One Series X1X?
yeah, man, it's so confusing. But yeah, I totally just like tongue tied myself too because I'm like, wait a minute, I'm saying series. It wasn't the series; it's the Xbox One. So
Yeah, I was
damn
sitting
you,
there
Xbox.
listening, and I was like, "Wait a minute, I don't think that's right, but I'm gonna let him ride because it's his shit. He knows what he's talking about."
Yeah, no, no, definitely meant to say the Xbox One, not the series.
Oh man, I finally got my Series X. Um,
Yeah. So what happened with FedEx? I didn't know there was an issue with FedEx. I didn't realize that there's an issue with the shipping on it.
dude, since I moved into the house we're in now, we've been here going on 5 years. No, 4 years, I think. Um, FedEx always has an issue delivering to this address because there's a street probably 2-3 miles away, something like that, that is similar to our street name, but it's not quite our street name. So at first they were going to that address, and my wife and I, you know, we'd call constantly. We'd call like, "Hey, we didn't get our package. Where's our package? All this, all that." Um, you can't get anybody on the phone. It's a pain in the ass to get anybody on the phone. It's always a record, like a robot or whatever, a virtual assistant they call it, I think. Finally, my wife at one point got so pissed off. We both went on their Facebook page and started talking trash about them, saying how much it sucked. And then finally, my wife got somebody on the phone, an actual person, that put her in contact with the actual person in the city we live in, Raleigh. And uh, the person looked into his system, and apparently, yeah, the addresses were switched in their system. So they got it fixed. It was good for like a year or so, maybe that. And I got this Series X coming to me. It was supposed to be delivered on a Wednesday. It never showed up. It said, I looked at the tracking on my phone, said error. We're going to try to deliver it tomorrow, whatever. Please call for assistance or whatever. So I called that night, Wednesday night. I got somebody on the phone, and I was kind of pissed off, but I was like, maybe it's just a fluke. Um, they looked up the address, the tracking information, all that. They said, yeah, it's telling us to deliver to such and such address. I'm like, well, that's not my address. I don't know why you're trying to deliver it there. That's not the address that's on the shipping label. That's not the address that was input into the website. I don't know where you got this address from. It's not mine. So because they had one address from me by my name in their system, and then a different address on the label, which was my correct address. They just say, "Oh, we don't know what to do," and they just push it off. And then they just send me email say, "Hey, call us so we can figure this out." So when you call them, you just talk to a virtual assistant, and he's like, "Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself." Thursday comes around after I talked to an actual physical person on Wednesday night. They said, "Okay, we got it fixed. It'll be delivered tomorrow." Thursday, my wife's working from home, looking out the window. A FedEx truck drives by, drives down the road, and then drives back. Doesn't drop any packages. So I get pissed off. I go outside. I'm talking on the phone to some guy. I don't know where he lived, but he put me in contact with another chick that lived in like Ohio. And I gave him the same spiel as the woman on Wednesday I talked to. And they said, well, I'm getting ahead of myself again. I'm talking to the virtual assistant to try to get somebody else on the phone. And because I called the day before for the same tracking number, I say representative, representative, representative. And then at some point, the virtual assistant goes, there's no additional information that an actual representative can help you with. Goodbye. And they hung up on me. I'm just like, are you
Oh,
kidding me? I'm about to throw my phone out in the parking lot of my job because I'm so pissed off. And then so I call back, get the virtual assistant on the phone again, and I lie to him saying, "Oh, I just want a pricing on a new delivery or a new shipment or whatever." It's like, "Oh, okay, no problem." So they put me in contact with the actual person. And then I talked to the woman in Ohio, tell her the spiel. She says, "Okay, looks like the the address we have on file in our system is not the same as what's on the package. It's going to have to go back to the delivery, the facility, FedEx facility, get relabeled, and then we'll deliver it tomorrow, which is a Friday." So I'm like, you guys have got to be kidding me. Whatever. So Friday comes along. I go to work. I get out early from work on Fridays, right? So I'm sitting at home on my couch. Me and the wife normally go pick up our daughter from school Friday afternoons, take her to ballet class. I'm sitting there. It's about time to leave to go get the kid, and it's still not there. And you have to sign for it. I got it from Ant Online. You have to sign for the package. So I'm like, well, I can't go do that stuff. I got to stay here in case they show up. And it was probably like 3:30, 4 o'clock. No, probably like 4:30. I'm sitting on my couch just pissed off watching TV, and this guy finally rings the doorbell with my package. And I open it up. I get inside, open it up, and the console box, the Xbox Series Xbox, has a dent on the corner. And I'm like, these sons of a bitches,
oh
man.
man.
They dropped it. They're kicking it around in the truck. Every time they unload it and put it back on the truck, they're just dropping it and sliding around. They don't care about nothing. But I took it out of the box, I hooked it up, and I've been playing it all week with Red Dead Redemption. So FedEx sucks.
Nice.
Never use FedEx. I hope they go out of business. I hope all their good employees they have get other jobs at UPS, USPS, whatever. And I hope all the people
DHL.
that, yeah, I hope the people that suck at FedEx go out of business. Rant over.
Dude, so when we had first moved to North Carolina, um the that holiday season that we were there, we moved in, I think it was like May 2015. So, and we had gotten married that November. So that December I started working for UPS,
Yeah.
like for like holiday help or whatever. So it was it, man, it was such shit, dude. Um so I had to shave my beard. They wouldn't let you have a beard. So
Hmm.
like I could keep a mustache, but I couldn't keep a beard. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, what the fuck? So I was like, all right, man, let me rock a mustache. And like I look weird as fuck with the mustache, dude. I was like, nah, man, I got to get rid of that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you go to the training and stuff, and then they're like, hey, we'll give you a call, and then you know you when you get called, you go to like a gas station or like a fucking parking lot somewhere, and like a driver just comes and picks you up like in the truck, and then you're in the
What?
truck you're in the truck all day with them, just like hustling, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But they never called me. So I was just there waiting, trying to get paid. Cause like
Yeah.
the whole thing, but like the whole thing, like with the holiday help, is like you're a temp employee, like you work for, I don't know, like 12 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And you bust your ass, you hustle, with the end goal of them being like, man, like let's hire you like as a permanent employee,
Hmm.
then you could actually work for UPS or whatever. So that was like my goal. I was like, man, I'm just gonna fucking grind and hustle and do all this other shit, and then I'm gonna be working full time for UPS. And then these fucks never even called me to help them. So fuck all those delivery services.
And these are the same companies that are complaining they can't find nobody to work.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it ended up working out better for me because I wouldn't. I probably like if I ended up getting a job full time at UPS, I would probably. There's a good chance I would still be working at UPS.
Hmm.
Um, and we wouldn't have moved. We would have still been there. But I'm fortunate enough now to have a job where I could live anywhere in the United States since I work from home. Um, so I just kind of feel like I would have missed out on that opportunity. So,
Yeah.
moral of the story is everything happens for a reason.
Hell yeah. My Xbox Series Xbox got dented for a reason.
Yep. Yep. Because
Man.
maybe that's going to make that maybe it's going to make that Xbox box unique. So
Oh, it'll be worth millions.
you might have some weird fucking collector that's like, man, I need to collect every iteration of every box with every flaw of Xbox Series X's. And like this one guy's like, man, I just need this dented one. If I could find that one, it'd be complete. And then you decide, hey, you know what? I'm ready to part with this. Dude, hey man, we take a G for that dented box? You bet your ass. Boom.
Yeah, you bet your ass I will. Just go get a brand new one and call it a day.
Yeah.
Um, man, so November 8th. I forget exactly what the tweet said, but apparently that's Rockstar's or Take-Two's investors call. So the rumor is that they're going to show off some GTA 6.
Oh.
So I'm hoping, like, my Twitter feed is riddled with GTA 6 news and all this stuff. So I'm hoping at some point by the end of the year we get some nice GTA 6 footage, maybe a target release window like fall 2024 maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I see a lot
So
of
I saw the rumor of them remaking they're gonna remaster Grand Theft Auto 4. So it seems like we might be getting a previous version of Grand Theft Auto before we get a new version.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I saw this probably like a month ago. So like some guy who has been like 100% accurate with leaks in the past, had found something out about so he discussed Red Dead Redemption, the Red Dead Redemption remake,
Yeah.
the first one. So now that's the one that like came out like on the PS4 and the Switch. He leaked that one, but then he also had leaked GTA 4 like definitive edition or like remastered or something.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Speaking of definitive edition, man, you saw Naughty Dog. It got leaked. They're coming out with the Last of Us 2 definitive edition on the PS5.
I did not see that. Is that like a
Yeah.
remaster?
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a remaster. So they just released the first Horizon Zero Dawn on the PlayStation 5. So like to me that was kind of crazy. Like to me that came out of like left field. So
Yeah.
I know they did it with the Last of Us, and I'm a huge Last of Us fan. So I actually ended up buying the version on the PS5, and I'm so glad I did because it's playing the Last of Us on the PS5 is probably the optimal best experience you could have playing that game. So I know a lot of people were pissed off about the price tag on it and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like a different game. Like the character models, the graphics, a lot of the stuff you could do in the game now. Um, yeah, solid choice. So I'm looking forward to that Last of Us 2 coming out eventually. Um, I I just don't quite know if it's going to be the same, like on the same wavelength, or I can't even think of what I'm trying to say. I don't think it's going to be like on the same level as the first game that they remade.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like it might be more of like a director's cut or something. So kind of like what they did with Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
They had like the regular version and stuff, and then they had the director's cut that came out on the PS4 and on the PS5 with like updated visuals and stuff. So The Last of Us 2 on the PS4 if you played that on your PS5, it's upgraded to, I believe it's 1440p and 60 frames per second. So
Really?
the game looks freaking ridiculous already,
Yeah,
and
I
it
thought it
runs
looked
smooth
great
as
on the
fuck.
PS4.
Yeah. So if they do what they do to whatever it is to get it running like natively on the PS5,
Damn, dude. I'm a big fan of that series too. Um, did you say you thought the $70 price tag for the PS1 or Last of Us 1 remaster was worth it?
so I think it's relative. Like to me, I thought it was worth it because I enjoy that series so much.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody else who doesn't like The Last of Us, it might not. It's not worth $70 to them. It might be worth $10 to them. It might be worth $15 to them because you essentially have The Last of Us on PS3, you have it on PS4, and now you have a version on the PS5.
Yeah.
But the PS5 version adds like a whole bunch of accessibility features, haptic feedback, all this other stuff. So it at first I was like, you know what, man, let me go back and play the one on the PS4. So I started playing The Last of Us on the PS4 on my PS5 because that one that's upscaled a bit and it runs at 60 frames also. But then going and playing the PS5 version of it, it's night and day, man. It really is.
Dang, dude.
So
Hopefully,
so to me it was a justified price because it wasn't just like a paint job that they went and did. Like you could tell that they actually went in there and like reprogrammed. They did some work.
mhm.
They built it pretty much from like the ground up again. So
If I could find that for a nice $20 price tag somewhere, I might pick it up. 25 bucks. Black Friday, maybe.
probably, yeah, I would guess Black Friday.
Because I do love the series. Did you watch the show? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, we actually just finished that show last
Oh,
week, I think. Yeah, I thought it was great, man.
yeah. I,
I
I'm
thought it was
enjoying it.
really good. You know,
Um,
they switched some stuff around. I'm
mhm.
glad they did. Um, but yeah, man, I can't wait for season two.
Yeah, same here. I'm kind of like I'm my only concern. Like I really did like season one, but my concern was my original thought. I thought they were gonna split the first game up into two seasons and then
Hmm.
do like the last two seasons, like part two. Um, but they just crammed the entire first game into the first season. Um,
Yeah,
which it came out fine. I liked it, but I just hope it doesn't get to a point where they cram the entire second game into season two, and then season three, if the third game hasn't come out yet. And I understand Naughty Dog's pretty heavily involved in the show as well, but I hope they don't just start making shit up for the show like Game of Thrones did with the last few seasons of that, because
yeah,
George R. R. Martin didn't write the books yet. I hope they don't start going downhill once they run out of material.
yeah. So I think if I kind of feel like there's going to be a Last of Us 3, but then I kind of don't because I just don't know, man. I'm not really sure like how much else, like what else they could do. So Last of Us 2, um I know so many people hated that game. It got so much heat because it was woke and like, the story was bad and, spoiler alert, um Joe gets killed off in like the first part, like very early in the game.
Yeah.
Um you know what I mean? So it's just I thought it was great, man. I thought it was really good. I know a lot of people have their thoughts on it, but with the way it ended, I I just don't know like where else they could go from there. So at the end of the first game, like Joel like straight up like kills all the fireflies,
Hmm.
straight up lies to her. Like,
Yep.
yeah, nah, we're everything's cool, bro. Like
They got what they
I
needed.
wouldn't lie to you. Then it turns out he's full of shit. And like that's like the whole conflict like in the beginning of the second game. And I don't know. To me, I think Joel's a piece of shit. I think this is a dude that was like, man, I'm gonna be selfish as fuck, and because so here's the thing. Like, let's just say that Ellie did have the cure, right? So they kill Ellie, they get her brain, they do whatever the fuck they do, they develop a cure, the world is saved, right?
Yeah.
That dude just prevented all of that because he
Mm-hmm.
felt some kind of way. He was like, "Oh, I ain't losing another daughter," and then
Damn.
to top it off, fucking lied. They just straight up
Damn.
fucking lied, dude. I'm like, bro,
Wow.
you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of fucking shit. Um, but yeah, Ellie finds out and they're beefing,
Yeah.
and I don't know, man. Like he gets killed pretty brutally, but I'm like, bro, like I'm sorry, like if you straight up blew my dad's head off for really no reason other than selfishness, I'm coming after you. So I understood Abby. I understood why Abby did what she did and
Yeah.
why, I understood it. So that's why I liked it, man, because I was like, yeah, man, I could see that. And then I just really liked the conflict that Ellie had because it was like she was so blinded by this rage trying to get this girl. And then finally, like towards the end, she could kill her if she wants. And she's
Yeah.
just like, she shows her mercy and she's like, fuck it.
Yeah. Dude, I agree with you. Part two was crazy, but I am kind of shocked that you think uh, Joel was a piece of shit for doing what he did. I mean, like, I 100% get it. I just wasn't expecting that viewpoint from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, like so I've played through The Last of Us many, many times. So I'm pretty like up with it with the lore.
Yeah.
But if you play the game, you watch the show, like Joel is not a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not. Like he's done like a lot of bad shit to survive, and I
Yeah.
get it. You know what I mean? Like you do shit to survive, but there's even that whole part where they're driving through the town, and that guy is like, "Hey, help me!" And Joel's like, "No, hit the
Yeah.
gas,"
Yeah.
and they get bombarded, and Ellie's like, "Man, how did you know?" Oh, because I used to do that. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like Joel is a bad dude. Joel is
Yeah.
a heel.
Yeah. Dude, that
He's a
he
heel
is.
trying to be he's a heel trying to be a baby face. And then if he would have done all that and he would have just been like, yeah, you know what? They were gonna kill you, so I said, fuck it, I killed all of them and I saved your life.
Yeah.
Like if he would have done that, then it's like, okay, that to me that's redeeming. But
Yeah.
the fact that like she kind of knew, which is why she asked him, and he was just like, nah, man. There's plenty of other people, man. I wouldn't lie to you, kid.
Yeah.
Let's go. Nah,
Yeah.
man.
Dude, that is a awesome take. That is great.
But
Hell yeah.
see, everybody gets hung up on Joel dying immediately, and then they get hung up on the chick Abby because she's like big and jacked, and oh, there's no way, da 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 da. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, so, me and the wife used to do CrossFit, and I could tell you that 60% of the women at the CrossFit gym look the way Abby did.
Yeah.
So and all natural. Like these CrossFit athletes are not about steroids and all that other stuff, man. It's clean nutrition. They're eating fucking like every 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
rice, eggs, chicken, protein shakes. So I mean, to me, it wasn't a big deal seeing her with muscles. And
If
then
it,
the okay,
I was gonna say, if anybody was into WWF back in the day, the Attitude Era, and saw China, you know it's definitely possible.
yeah, yeah. So the other thing, like I know people had a problem with, was the transgendered kid, but to me, like I don't know, like it wasn't like they didn't like throw it in your face.
Yeah, it was
It's
such a
like
small part of the game. It's like whatever.
they talked about it like once or twice, and like that was it.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, in my opinion, I know other people's got their opinions about it. Listen, Joel got Joel got what he deserved, in my opinion. And I
like
thought
it.
The Last of Us 2 was incredible.
I like it. Old school. I like it. With a hot take to send us off into the weekend. I like it. But all right. With that said, appreciate everybody listening, watching, liking, subscribing, rating, all that stuff on all the platforms we're on. I mentioned in the beginning. Looking forward to our Halloween episode in a couple weeks. It's going to be fun. Hopefully, Rhino will be back next week. We can talk to him again. And thanks for hanging out, Old School. I appreciate you. And we'll see y'all next week. See ya.
Peace.